In this video, I'm going to give you my advice on how you can reach age 2, the feudal age, and the age 3, the castle age, as fast as possible. So I'm doing this with the French, which has a slight boost to economy and getting really started really quickly. So immediately you should select your town center, hit Q to craft as many villagers as you can, spending all your food. You want the rest of your villagers on the sheep immediately, and one villager to make a mining outpost near the nearest gold vein. And then you also have to have your scout kind of scout around to bring nearby sheep here while you start crafting a house so that you can sustain a population once you go over 10, because you want to keep your town center producing villagers at every single point, and you want the rest of your villagers bringing in food as much as possible, because that is your main resource until you get to the next age. From this point, you're going to want the villager who's building the house to build a logging cabin so that you can start getting some wood. Right now, you only need one person on wood. You need the rest of the people on food. You need your scout to come back with those sheep as soon as possible so that you can keep your villagers busy, because once they run out of food, you're going to be delayed quite hectically. And the quicker you can reach H2, the quicker you can attack the enemy and get into the game. Now, normally my scout would have brought back the sheep just in time, but I was busy recording a video for a different means here, so I ended up using a mill and sending all my villagers that were on the food to come here and use the mill near the deer, because the deer give you the best food income that you can get in the game, because hunted animals always give the most food. At this point, you're going to want a second villager on the gold mine, and you're going to keep your town center rallied on one of the dead animals so that you can keep sending your villagers to the mill to keep collecting food. Once you have your first mill created, you want to go onto it and you want to research survival techniques, because this will increase the amount of meat or food you can carry by 15 and also increase the meat gathering rate by 10%, which is really good. And this is probably the only gold that you're going to spend until you reach the next age. So at this point, don't spend any unnecessary upgrades to other things like the mining outpost or the wood outpost, because you'll just be wasting your gold and your resources. And at this point, you can also bring your sheep to the mill here, because your villagers here who are getting food can also harvest the sheep and next to the mill, because it counts as animals. So yeah, and then you can send your scout off to do more scouting and research or search the rest of the map. By the time you reach a population of 15 or 14 villagers, you want to send another dude to go harvest wood, and then you're going to have two people mining gold, and the rest of them, you can use your town center to set a checkpoint on one of the dead animals there so that they keep sending the villagers here to get food, because now it's a race to get 400 food as quickly as possible, because your gold should hit 200 early on. Just make sure you don't research anything additionally, because you'll just be setting yourself back an extra 30 seconds or a minute or so. For the next 30 seconds, you'll just be waiting to reach 400 wood and 200 gold, and once you've hit that, you're going to want to double-click all the villagers you can, get as many as you can onto the next landmark that you need to build to advance to the feudal age, age 2, and have as many of your villagers building here as possible, because this will allow you to build and get to that second age as fast as possible, because more villagers equals the building gets built faster. And just after 4 minutes in the game, you should have advanced to age 2. Obviously, playing as the French, I have a slight advantage because the villagers are trained 10% faster, which is amazing. Just make sure you send all the villagers back to their work, so you can send 3 to the log cabins, 3 to the gold mines, and then you want to now send your town center villagers, training all of them towards the gold mine, and have the rest of your villagers keep doing food and everything and keep bringing in those resources, and make sure you maintain your population houses so that they keep getting built. Now that you're in age 2, you want to focus on bringing in as much wood as you can, because now you're going to be building things to defend your base, because usually at this point you're going to have enemies attacking you or sending their first little forces of armies to poke you and test your defenses, and if you don't have anything to fight it, you could probably end up losing the game to a well-timed rush, especially if you're playing against a PvP or the hardest or hard AI in the game. So the villager setup that you're going to have right now is you're going to have all of those same villagers, like 15 to 13 or even 10 villagers on food. You want to try and get 10 villagers doing wood. Pretty much all the rest on the gold mine, so they can hit that 600 gold cap so that you can advance to the third age as quickly as possible, especially as the French, where you're trying to get a keep as quickly as possible, because that's where you're going to be getting huge reduction prices to your units costs, and it's just going to make you a better player, to be honest, and being a force to be reckoned with. Between age 2 and age 3, you should put down a mining outpost near some stone so that you can start collecting some stone, and make sure that you have a few people going on stone, at least 2 or 3, so that you can bring in that stone income either to build defenses or to get an early head start to building your keep after reaching age 3, the castle age. Just keep in mind it's very important that you don't actively research anything just yet, because your main thing is you want to get to age 3 as quickly as possible, and by this point you should have enough resources to actually craft your next thing and get to age 3 as quickly as possible. Again, use all your villagers to build this thing as quickly as possible so that you can get it done, so that you can start focusing on a full-out offensive or defensive approach to taking on your opponent. And that's pretty much how you can reach age 2 in just over 4 minutes, at least with the French, and how you can reach age 3 in just under 10 minutes using this approach. However, your age 3 might be a lot slower against opponents who are attacking you earlier on, because this will delay you, because you will need to focus some of your resources in building some more defenses and building units to fight back. So don't really expect to reach your castle age limit super quick unless you have like really good defenses or you're playing on an island-based map. However, I do hope you find this video helpful and useful. It does help if you practice doing this technique multiple times so that you can speed up how you play the game and, really get into it. And good luck, guys. I hope you have fun.